Hi, Casey. Thanks for joining me tonight for the interview. I know it's not your favorite thing to be on video, so I really appreciate you doing this for me.
Happy to see you. Happy to help.
Thank you. All right, so let's get started real fast. Tell me about where you were born and raised and how you ended up in California.
Okay, that's a long story. I'm going to make it as quick as possible. I was born and raised in Plano, Texas. I graduated from Plano Senior High. After high school, I went to Baton Rouge to go to LSU. I had a general business degree focus and really didn't apply any of that to what I do now, but I did when I was in the corporate world, when I had a real job. So after Baton Rouge, headed to Austin, Texas, where my soon-to-be husband was. Then we went to Fort Worth, Texas. And then we eventually got transferred out and we were starting our trek across the country. We went to Denver and then Kansas City. And then from Kansas City, we headed to San Diego where we settled.
Very good.
Did you get all that?
I think I got it. You're just moving. You were at LSU. You said you got a general business degree. What did you want to do when you grew up?
Meaning like when I was a little kid, what were my goals? Or
okay. Well, I mean, either or, LSU, little kid life.
LSU, I spent a lot of time avoiding studying and focusing more on bad decisions and, culinary things. I literally took in all the culture of South Louisiana. Don't regret any of it. So that was my LSU focus. But when I was a little girl, I had two goals. One was to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Not why you're laughing, it could still happen. Or I wanted to check groceries at Target. So,
well, there's hope for one of them.
Which one, Jamie?
If you give me your resume, I'll turn it into the cheerleaders. I mean, I have a track record here.
I figured that's which one you were clarifying is realistic. So thank you for that.
Sure. Okay, so you're in California now, and
yes.
Did you go to California? Like, were you already doing Disneyland Daily? How did this take place?
I was not. About 4 years after we arrived here, I started as an extension of a Disney World blog. And I was essentially a franchise of that blog. And I started focusing on writing about Disney parks. And that eventually turned into, we had a 3-year partnership. And then after 3 years, we split ways and I started running the site by myself, which is pretty terrifying for me. But I figured it out. And when I can't figure something out, I ask for help or I hire someone to do it. But I've been running the site now for about 3 years on my own, which is really exciting because I really thought, oh my gosh, like 2 days in, my site's just going to disappear and I won't know what to do. But here we are. We're still here.
So just to clarify, it's the same blog you were writing. You're just now doing it under your own brand. You didn't start over. Yeah.
Exactly. After 3 years, I took over the blog. I brought all my content with me. It's the same focus that I had before. I'm doing some things different because I really am on my own and it's all my decisions. And the changes I made really paid off. I wasn't expecting them to. I didn't know exactly, how this would turn out, but it's completely gratifying and it's been a wonderful experience. Again, scary at first, but still here.
All good things are scary. Okay,
That's
so
right.
I polled my audience prior to talking to you about what they wanted to know about Casey. And one of the things I got a couple of times is you're known for your park touring strategies. So how did you come up with those?
That just kind of evolved in a really organic way. I didn't set out to focus on that. In fact, the whole idea of it is really intimidating to me to tell or to recommend the appropriate way to move through attractions. But I put a lot of pressure on myself to get that right, because if I don't, people are not going to return to my website for information. So it started in a very small way back in, right after I started blogging. My daughter was really into Anna and Elsa, and they were located in Disneyland Park all the way through Fantasyland to the left of King Arthur Carousel in this teeny tiny building that is adjacent, or really like a connection to, Village House, which is now the Red Rose Tavern. Is that right? Did I get that? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Did I get that up?
I had to think about it.
So
no, you didn't. We're all rusty, but you didn't make it up, so you're good.
I almost said Enchanted Rose. That's not right.
So that's totally at my park. My park.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so Anna and us were seeing guests there, and it was really before we understood what Frozen was going to become. So I knew that it was going to be tough to get back there because that's a really difficult path to maneuver through the park. And I had Lainey, I guess, who was 6, possibly. Jack would have been 7. Carter, 13, 12. So from the very beginning, I thought, I need a plan. So we arrived early, as I always recommend, and rather than trying to drag all 3 kids through the park in an efficient manner, I sent my teenager, Carter, I guess he was 13, ahead to go and secure our place in line, and then Jack and Lainey and I followed because, that's not a quick walk with little kids. So I started thinking, this is really helpful to people, and I can expand on this. And so I started looking at other ways that people tour through the parks. And things kept coming up that were consistent with every blog I read, literally every blog. And for example, in Disneyland, everyone suggests going to Peter Pan first. In California Adventure, everyone suggests going to Radiator Springs Racers first. And I would tell you those are completely wrong. And I only came up with that by testing it out and trying to improve on it. So for example, Peter Pan, a beloved attraction, everyone wants to do it, but all of my strategies are really focused on families and first timers, or really like first, second, third timers, because it takes several trips to really understand the parks.
Right.
So if I were to recommend a first timer to start with Peter Pan, first of all, I'm going to if that were my angle, I would have to pray that they showed up on time, right? And they were the first one in. And then they're going to have to know how to walk through the park, maneuver through the castle, know where to park their stroller, unbuckle kids, get kids in line. By the time all of that happens, again, imagine a first timer walking through the park.
Right.
They're going to land in an hour wait for Peter Pan. That hour is better used knocking out some iconic attractions, because you're going to wait an hour for Peter Pan at any point during the day. So don't use that first hour where you can really get a lot done.
Yeah.
Use that hour at another time during the day. So I started going in another direction. And if you follow, the strategies that I create, and now this is the break that we're on right now. So my challenge when the parks reopen is going to be to reinvent all my strategies.
Yes.
Based on what the parks are providing to us. But if you follow my strategies with just a couple of exceptions based on, Rise of the Resistance with being a boarding group, or, any attractions without a fast pass, I can't do a lot about those. But I have scoped out, for example, when Millennium Falcon was new, there's no fast pass, there's no option there. A lot of guests went straight there, but I followed the times and really studied it. And the optimum time when all this was happening to go on the Millennium Falcon was in the afternoon, because I kept noticing that time to wait dropped down to 45 minutes almost every afternoon.
Interesting.
So again, it was just really studying all of these things and trying to figure out how to advise guests on how to do better than what was the norm for many years.
What you were finding, sure.
Yeah, and now, if you look around, not everyone recommends Peter Pan first anymore.
Oh.
And I'm not saying that go through my method, but it's just, it's good to think about things. Like routine is not always your best option. I think we can always look at what has been done well and see how we can improve upon it.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, especially if the park is right down the street, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm there once a week. I test my strategies for each park once a month to make sure that everything I have is still accurate, that I couldn't do something better. My strategies change throughout the year. For example, Haunted Mansion Holiday is really popular during the seasonal time.
Right. It's my favorite.
So I will move that up in my list And so, there's always something that can be tweaked or done better. And the only way that I can accurately find that information is to walk through the strategies that I'm recommending.
Right. Right.
So I didn't really plan on that becoming my thing. And I do other things, but
I do other things too. Yeah. I'm good at other things.
I have other stuff. But it kind of just evolved into that. And I really like it. I love the challenge. I love starting out early in the morning and knowing, I'm going to try to get through this many attractions, and do better and advise people on how to make the most out of their time. Because as you know, Disney trips are expensive. And so I want every guest to get every bit of what they want out of the experience. And I love that.
I agree. All right, so let's see. Not too long ago, Disney invited you to help introduce MaxPass. How do you get an invite from Disney?
I don't know. I really thought it was a mistake, like a clerical error when it happened, because it was my first partnership with Disney. And I was really overwhelmed by it. But I showed up and just acted like I knew what I was doing. And it was an amazing experience. I don't know if it was an amazing experience for the cast member that was assigned to me. She might not be with the company anymore, truly, now that I think about it. But it was a really cool experience for me, because there were just a few people, I think 6 people that were invited to come and learn and teach. And that's what I thrive on, is teaching, like going to learn things in the parks and then sharing what I know in the best way that connects with my readers. And I did not want to love MaxPass. I kind of went into it kicking and screaming, and I cannot recommend it enough. It is worth every penny. I encourage guests all the time. And I understand a budget as much as anyone else, but
it buys you time.
It betters your experience. It, provides the photos, of course. It really just will improve so much about your day. So I really encourage guests when and I understand, I have 3 children. That's a lot of money.
Right.
I encourage people, like, say you have a 4-day trip, take 2 days and invest in MaxPass. You don't have to do it all 4. Do it for 2 days and use my strategy for Disneyland on one, DCA on the other, really focus on attractions. And then on the other 2 days, you can either revisit ones you love, or you can just take it easy and not be so stressed to get through stuff.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
You don't necessarily need MaxPass for those other 2 days, because if you follow my strategies, you'll have all of DCA done by 1 p.m. if you follow my literally every attraction, like even ones you might not want to go on. That's every attraction. Not that there are any. Not that there are any.
No, we want to do everything.
Didn't say it.
So prior to your, go ahead. Sorry.
If you follow those, like I said, 2 days with MaxPass, invest in that, and then you'll very likely just, pay the money for the other 2.
Right.
With it. But if you can't, I get it. I'm always on budget when I go to Disney parks. So get your work done on the first 2 days, and then focus on just relaxing and repeating favorites the other 2.
Very cool. Very cool. So prior to this invite from Disney, did you have any idea that they were paying attention? No. That's scary. That's really scary.
And I didn't ever partner with Disney until I went out on my own. It was literally a few months after I started Disneyland Daily and rebranded the website.
Very cool.
That was exciting and unexpected, and it kind of evolved into other opportunities with Disney, and it's one of the biggest honors to partner with them, especially on really big things like MaxPass. I'm really proud of that, and I've figured out the system, and I can't say enough good about it, and it was an honor. And anytime I'm invited to anything, I am fully aware that it could be the last. It really could be the last, and for a number of reasons, not just because I'm very likely going to say something stupid, but
possible.
Not just in this interview, but anywhere else
in life.
But I understand. Public affairs or PR. When you are not invited to something, it may hurt, and it may feel like you were left out. But I have to trust that Disney knows their audience and they know their
Right.
focus. And if I'm not a fit for whatever event they're hosting, then I shouldn't be part of it. You know,
Right.
there's going to be someone else that can do it better than me. So
Sure.
I hope, you know, I keep getting invited. But if I never do again, it was a privilege to do everything I've done with them.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So one of the things that you have been doing with your readers for quite a long time now is Pearls in the Park. How did that get started?
That was another thing I kind of went kicking and screaming into. I'm noticing a trend, like things that I
am too.
Somewhat successful with or really passionate about. I didn't want to do it first, so I don't know. Go figure.
So maybe this interview is going to be your new favorite thing.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Jamie. Come on. Are you kidding? My husband is like playing a concert over here. Okay. Anyway, don't worry. We're recording the interview. Whatever you need, Blake. Okay. Focus.
Pearls in the Park.
Okay. My site wasn't even 2 years old, and I got talked into hosting this party, and that was in 2016, the first year. And we hosted it at the Disneyland Hotel in the Rose Court Garden. And it really was just an event to just get people together. And it started out just, hey, let's go to the parks together. We're going to throw this party. It's a fancy event. We partner with Disney. There's Disney catering. There's, you know, Disney service. And it's just a really fun experience to partner with Disney in something like that, and to provide that special experience for guests, because you may not be able to go to, you know, a private event like that at any park. So it started then. I had to sell 100 tickets, and I think I sold 101.
Nice.
And it just kept evolving from there. So we spent 3 years at the Rose Court Garden in the Disneyland Hotel, and then we decided, you know, not everyone wants to go to the same party every year, so let's try the Grand. And so last year we did the Breezy Courtyard at the Grand Californian, and the party just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So last year we had 286 guests.
Wow.
It was a lot. It was a lot of people. But it's really turned into just a fun annual event, and a lot of, you know, every year we see new faces, and then we also see a lot of people coming back again and again to attend this event, because it's not just about going to Disneyland or going to this event. It's about seeing all these people that they have seen at, you know, parties before.
Right.
So,
like a community.
What's that?
Like a little Disney community.
It is. It is. And when you buy a party ticket, you are entered into a Facebook group that's just for ticket holders. And it's just the best community of people. I often look at all of them. They're just so supportive of each other, and, you know, they see each other in person, and then they're actually like starting to travel on their own together. So like there's sometimes a Pacific Northwest meetup for the guests, and they call themselves Pearlies, and I call them Pearlies, and I'm one too. And it's just kind of turned into something really unexpected, and it's a really neat thing that I get to be part of. And when I am done with blogging one day, I will look back on Pearls in the Park and the friendships that were formed, and the community that I was, you know, lucky enough to be part of. And that will be my proudest achievement with blogging, is the lifelong friendships that have come from this little party that we started, and now it's not so little.
You didn't want to do, right? So
this year's the fifth year.
Yeah, so this year. So sadly, it was going to be my first party, and got canceled to all of this world happenings here. So you've moved it to September for now Pumpkins in the Park. Are there tickets available?
September 18th, Pumpkins in the Park. It's going to be a very similar setup to what we had planned in the spring, but we rethemed it into a Halloween design. So people will be in costume, and you don't have to, that's voluntary. But we are offering the same awesome hotel rates. When you buy a party ticket, you are given access to these greatly reduced rates. For example, I think the Grand Californian is $324 a night, which is just an absolute steal. And you can pay that price for up to 5 nights and stay on site in a hotel, frankly, that I couldn't afford without this event.
It'll be my first day there.
Yeah, and you know, we offer really great rates at all 3 Disneyland Resort hotels. I think Paradise Pier is $254,
Wow.
which is a steal. And anyway, so you know, that's just one of the perks of buying a free ticket. You get access to the event, the big fancy event at the Grand Californian. We have a kickoff event on Wednesday because most guests try to stay 5 nights. And so we connect with everyone at least once each day. And the event or the week kicks off on Wednesday, and we do a happy hour at Catal, one of my favorite restaurants in downtown Disney. And that's just kind of like to get things started. And then every day, like I said, we'll meet up. And then the big party, of course, is on Friday night. And then we have we usually do a character meal. We try to make, you know, a few changes each year just to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting event, and it's an honor to partner with Disney for that. And I'm excited about the Halloween thing because it's one of my favorite holidays.
I am so excited because it's your party, but also that it's Halloween, because my favorite thing is the Haunted Mansion overlay, and I almost never get to see it. My trips never quite line up with it. So I'm super excited that it worked out for me to get to come.
When we had to make the dates, we were actually kind of worried, like, how are we going to get good hotel rates, you know, at this prime time during Halloween time? Right. And we looked at one of the weekends just before Halloween time should start, and then September 18th is right there in the middle of it. And we were like, oh my gosh, absolutely. We're hosting during Halloween time. That was the date. And so we signed with Disney. You asked before if tickets are available.
Yes, are they still?
They are. They're not public yet. In a few days, I'm going to share the post with a link to buy tickets and in your hotel room and that sort of thing. We had already had, you know, most of the guests that were scheduled for spring are able to go in September, which is really surprising to me. Our international guests can't because of the borders, you know, so we usually have guests from Australia and Canada that come in. Sadly, those guys won't make it this year, but we're going to have some tickets available, and I will be sharing those on my Facebook page and on my website within the next few days.
Very good. All right. Well, I will be there. Disney better be open.
They will be. They will be. I just feel it.
I feel it too. It has to happen.
Yes.
So, okay. One of the things that I love most about Casey is your hashtag, Disney Bloggers Unite. So I think that that speaks a whole lot to who you are. It has a lot, the hashtag itself doesn't have to do with me and you, but that is how you treat people is you include them, you're helpful, and you're not worried about the competition. So tell me about your hashtag, how that came to be, and kind of what it stands for.
Thank you. That's such a nice compliment. It just, you know, it's just something I added to a post on a whim. I can't even remember where it was, you know, where it originated, but I just saw, you know, not a few people specifically, but I'd heard about friction within the blogger niche. Don't tell me which is right because I'll never remember. And I don't know. I am always of the opinion that we can all work together. There are plenty of Disney guests. Yeah. If I'm not a fit for you, you know, I always say, find a blogger like you would find a therapist. And I have a lot of experience there. And it's basically trial and error. Like, show up to my website or show up to my Facebook page or Instagram. If I'm not a fit for you, no hard feelings. Find someone else that you connect with in a genuine way, and that makes you feel good about that connection and can teach you something. So I'm happy to support other bloggers. I'm confident in the information I provide.
Sure.
That if, like, let's say I send someone to another blog because this person covered this event or this dining package and I hadn't had the chance to, then I'm confident enough that people will return to me. And if they don't, if they find something better, again, no hard feelings. There are enough Disney fans and guests in the world to keep me busy. And so I don't know. I think we always win in every situation in life if we support each other rather than work against each other. And it was just really a simple hashtag, and it you know, it's kind of caught on. Anytime I post on a blogger, I try to include that just to encourage community, you know, and just some positive direction within this industry, because it's a tough industry. We're all
It
still
is,
kind
yeah.
of winging it, like
Right.
the
Yeah.
first generation that are figuring this out. I didn't go to school for this. So we all have kind of, we have a
It
different
didn't
idea.
exist when we were in school. It was not a thing.
No, not at all. So I feel like
we're showing our age.
Yeah, no kidding. So I feel like everyone has their own direction of what's going to work. And it's interesting to me to connect with other bloggers and learn what works for them. And, sometimes it teaches me some things, and
Sure.
sometimes I, get some inspiration, and I hope maybe I provide that for someone else too.
I like it. It's very good. Okay. So Disney favorites. What is your favorite Disney park in the U.S.?
Oh, Disneyland. Absolutely. Yeah.
Die Hard Disneyland?
Yes, absolutely. The original, there's a charm there that, as hard as we work to replicate it in other Disney parks, I just find it at Disneyland. There's something unique about it. That doesn't mean I dislike any of the other parks. I am mildly obsessed with Epcot. So, you know that.
I know that. That's the only park I ever see you in anymore. I'm just like, come to Epcot. Okay, I'll be at Epcot.
I know. Have we ever been to other? I know
have we met up at another park?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to put some thought into that. We spend a lot of time at Epcot. All right, Casey, what is your favorite attraction?
In which park? Overall? Like the whole world?
Overall. The whole world. Well, the whole... I'll never get over this.
The Magical Express. It's my favorite ride in any Disney park. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I know you're not kidding. That's what makes it just insanity. Only Casey. Do you know I've literally never ridden the Magical Express?
Wait, what?
I have never ridden the Magical Express.
Oh my God.
I'll meet you at the airport next time you get here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I gotta think about this.
I'm a local.
It is my absolute favorite part of the trip. Well, first walking into the lines of the Magical Express. And I always do a red eye. So I'm there at like 5 a.m. and no one else is there. And I see those lines and I'm like, I don't want to go in. Because if I go in, that means the trip started. Like, I'm just going to stand here knowing that everything's ahead of me. Because once I go, I can't go back. Like, it's all started. And then I can't get that second back. I can't get those 5 seconds back. So I usually just pause like a lunatic at the lines. And the customers are like, we told you, like 14, go, keep going. I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And then I finally find my way and they put me on a bus. I'm usually by myself because it's 5 a.m. And it's my favorite part of the trip. It is.
Oh my. All right. So besides Magical Express, what are your favorite Disney memories?
Oh, memories.
Memories.
Okay.
What did you want to tell me?
Well, I thought you were going to say attractions, like real attractions.
Okay. Tell me your real favorite attraction besides Magical Express.
Okay. Snow White Scary Adventures at Disneyland.
Not surprised.
Thought you'd like that. And at Walt Disney World, probably Expedition Everest. I actually, besides Magical Express, I actually think Expedition Everest is probably my favorite attraction I've ever been on at a Disney park. And I've only been to the domestic parks, but that is just, the theming is amazing. The actual attraction, the size of it, everything about it is just so impressive. It really is.
Very good. It is very
And
good.
I'm not talking about Galaxy's Edge, because that's just a whole different ballgame. But
anything you won't ride?
My readers tease me a lot because I haven't been on Grizzly River Rapids in
ever. Oh, okay.
48 years. Oh, I'm 45. 45 years? No, I have been. I just don't. I don't enjoy jumping into a swimming pool with all my clothes on and then walking around a theme park all day. If that's your thing, awesome. It's
I'm
not
the same here. I don't ride Cali River Rapids. It's fine. It's a great ride, but I don't like to smell and be wet. Ugh.
You know, and I do day trips. So I take the train up to Anaheim and the train back.
Right.
Like, it's different if you're staying on site and you can run in and change clothes if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
I do Splash Mountain because I don't ever really get
You don't
soaked
get that wet. Yeah.
But and I love Grizzly River Rapids. It's beautiful, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just a risk I don't want to take when I'm there for a work day and I've got a ton of stuff to do.
Right.
So that's one that I don't do a lot with. Oh God, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. You've heard that story.
I've heard that story. I don't even know if we have time for that story.
No, we don't.
It's a TBD.
Panic attack.
Panic attack. Okay. So, favorite Disney memories, not including Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
Gosh, there's so many. One that stands out is when my Jack met Jack Skellington. My middle kid, when he loves something, he loves it. I don't know where he got that. But he's all in. And when he, discovered Jack Skellington, it was just everything to him because he's Jack. And, it all just kind of became really important to him. And so when he finally met him in the park, it was, I was crying. It was just so cute and innocent. And I've got the greatest picture of my Jack looking up at Jack Skellington, and Jack had on the Jack hat and the hoodie, and Jack Skellington could recognize what a fan he was. And then of course, when we told him his name, it was just so much fun attention. And that is just magic to see.
That is, yes.
Interaction. We had another great experience, ironically, with Jack and Sally, standing right outside the Court of Angels, the old Court of Angels in New Orleans Square. Okay. And I was there with my sister Caroline and my kids, and Sally recognized that my sister Caroline had some scars, and Caroline, really started showing them off because Caroline had a lot of surgeries throughout her life. And Sally recognized, Caroline's interest in her and just, her sweet demeanor. And Sally just took over. She took Caroline's phone. She was doing selfies. Like, they had their own interaction. And, I was just standing there with my kids like, what is happening? Oh, it was so special. That's another really, really great memory for me. Yeah. Regarding Walt Disney World, there's a distinct memory. My first trip, my sister was there, Caroline. My husband had a business trip, so we, did the tag along, and I had my kids. It was the first time, just that I had been to Walt Disney World. And I thought, growing up, I was one of 6 children, and that's not really part of our budget when,
right.
It's a one income family. And I can see that. It's very expensive. So to go finally was such a thrill for me. And now I've been so many times since then, but that one first time was so magical. Yeah. And I'll never forget standing in the hotel. I have a picture of it too. And we stayed at the Rose and Shingle Creek because that's where my husband's conference was.
So free lodging. This is how we afford Disney. Free lodging.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you can even just see the excitement in our face. Like, all of us we had just gotten out of the airport, and we met my sister at the hotel, and it was just like everything starting. This is it. We're finally here. And that was a wonderful memory for me too.
Very cool. Very, very cool. What is your favorite Disney character?
Oh, wow. I guess I have to name my boyfriend Big Al.
Right? I forgot. I totally forgot. Yes.
Don't even start suggesting that bear is not a whole lot of bear. And just...
That's the kind of bear you like.
How can you resist a bear who talks about blood on your pillow? I mean, that is just music to my ears. Do you hate the country bears? Like, do you think they're completely ridiculous?
I don't hate them. They don't even come close to being like on the favorites list. They don't bother me. It's just a weird, strange favorite, but should I expect to be different?
We haven't been to that show together. We need to go. It is like, I can barely get through it. I sit there shaking, laughing the whole time. And I have to sit in the very back because I don't want to bug another, not cast member. Well, that too. I don't want to bug another guest with my, cackling the whole time. But I just totally lose it. It is so ridiculous. Everything about it is ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. It'll be my
that's my
payback
thing.
for,
I love that.
yeah, my payback for taking you to Hoop-de-Doo, right?
Ah, that's another Monsters Inc.
Inc. Yes.
situation.
Okay. Favorite Disney snack?
Snack?
Yeah.
Oh, Disneyland popcorn, for sure.
I love their popcorn. I can get on board with that one.
I am a popcorn fan and a real Coke, not diet, real Coke. Because I rarely drink like real Coke. If I have a soda, it's always diet. And so like having that really rich, syrupy, like yummy, sugary Coke, it's just the perfect pairing with like salty Disneyland popcorn. It's one of my favorite things.
I just want to go right now. Like those.
Let's go.
Those are the little urges that talking about these things that before I'd be like, okay, I'll go tomorrow. And now I'm like, the rest of the world. We're like the rest of the world. Okay. And my final question is, what is the thing you like the most about being Disneyland Daily Casey?
The thing I like most about my job is just connecting with people and helping people with their trips. I honestly, this sounds kind of cliche, but I feel like it's an absolute privilege to be a tiny part of a Disney guest's first trip, only trip, 10th trip, whatever it is. The fact that I get to be any part of that is an honor to me, and I take it very seriously because I don't want to let people down. And that's not just good business sense. If I screw it up, they're not coming back. So,
no, they're not.
Yeah. So it's not just that. I know how important Disney parks are, and I want everyone to get exactly what they want out of the experience, not just because of the investment, but because Disney parks are magic, and they are so much more than a theme park for people. And I mean, you know that more than I do with your experience with Disney. So just being part of that is a huge honor for me.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. All right, Casey, I appreciate you doing this with me. It's going to be amazing. So thanks for taking the time to show up. It's over. You're off the hook.
Are we done?
We're done.
No, this is actually pain-free. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Jamie.
Good. I'm so glad. Thank you, Casey.